You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. What's going on, a&kfam? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Alec, and yeah, this is the channel. So, as you guys know, we say this every time one of us isn't here, but Kianna's not here. She's actually at work, and we both felt like it should just be me filming this video. So I actually kind of got this idea from a fan. I mentioned it in a few videos ago that I didn't like my birthdays, and a couple people messaged me on Instagram asking why I didn't, and I just told them I'd make a video about it. So here I'm making a video. If you guys want to see us do anything, you know, you can message us on Instagram, email us, Twitter, Snapchat, leave it down in the comment section, whatever. We do see everything you guys say. So if you want to see something or you don't want to see something, please let us know, because we like to make videos for you guys. Yeah, so if you are gonna leave suggestions for what to do, you need to do one important thing, and that is click that subscribe button. And yeah, so let's just get into it. So you guys do see the title, Why I Don't Like My Birthday, and it's kind of a long story, but I'm not gonna make it too long. I'm not gonna go into too much detail on every single thing. I'm just gonna give like detail about the important parts, and I don't want anyone watching this video to think less of anyone I mentioned in this video. It's not like it's their fault. I mean, no one's at fault here. No one does anything wrong. It's just what happens. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I am 20. Okay, so I've had 20 birthdays, and the first one that I remember, I was 5. I want to say I was 5, maybe 4. No, I just turned 5. I don't really remember my 1 through 4 birthday, but this is basically the whole gist of it. So there's this thing that happens in August/September called Burning Man. A lot of people know what it is, but if you don't, in the most broad way, it's an art show in the desert, and it lasts from, I want to say, the 3rd week of August till the 1st week of September, and my birthday falls on the last week of August. So when I turned 5, I think it was my parents' first time going. Maybe they went before and I just don't remember, but I want to say I'm 5. You know, the dates, the years might be off by 1. If I'm exaggerating at all, it's by literally a year. So, because you know, I'm younger and I didn't remember. But 5 years old, my parents went to Burning Man, and my sister and I had this babysitter named Miss Maria. And Miss Maria, I grew up, I went to preschool, and she was one of the teachers there, or helpers, whatever. So she watched us that year, and it didn't really bother me because, you know, I was like, oh, cool, Miss Maria's watching us. You know, this might be fun. So my 5th birthday didn't really like bother me. It wasn't until January the following year, when I was 5, I went to Disneyland with Jake on his birthday. You guys have met Jake before, the one that looks like Captain America. But I went to Disneyland on his birthday with him and his parents, and I really got to see that how much, I don't want to say enjoyed, but just how his parents were there for his birthday, and like all the fun they were kind of having on his birthday. So I was like, okay, you know, that kind of sucks. And just side note, and remember this because it's very important, at the time, Burning Man was very small, like all the way back then, and they didn't have any cell service. So I literally did not see my parents for a week and a half, 2 weeks before my birthday, or a week after, and I could not speak to them. That's very important. So it was on Jake's birthday that I kind of realized, like, you know, that I missed them on my birthday. And then the next year, when I was 6, I want to say Miss Maria watched us again. You know, maybe she only watched us once. I don't remember. It was once or twice, but my parents were gone again, and it's just like that year nothing important happened, but it's just like adding on to the not being able to talk to them. And then I want to say it was the next year I turned 8, and I think Miss Maria just cost too much. I mean, watching Lexi and I, my sister, for like 2 to 3 weeks, you know, can cost a lot. So I have 3 sets of grandparents, and 2 of them would switch off watching us. So one would watch us 1 week, the other would come down and watch us the other week. And that was fun. You know, I'd never been with my grandparents on my birthday before, and I got to do things that like my parents wouldn't let me do or whatever. I mean, not like ooh, cool things, but it was just cool being with them. But you know, at the same time, it still hurt not being able to talk to my parents, see my parents, whatever, and going to all my friends' birthday parties or birthdays, or being with my friends on their birthdays and how excited they would get for their birthday. Like, oh my gosh, my birthday's coming up. But for me, it was, my birthday's coming up and my parents aren't going to be there. I'm not going to be able to talk to my parents. And it was like, it hurt a lot. So I think I was 8 or 9 when 2 sets of my grandparents, my mom's mom and her stepdad, and then my dad's mom and his stepdad, decided they were going to go to Burning Man. and my dad's dad and his stepmom couldn't watch us for some reason. I don't remember what it was. So Lexi and I, we were still in elementary school. We went up to Washington to visit my uncle and my aunt. Kianna and I just went up there. And since we were in elementary school, school didn't start till like mid-September. So we would go up there, and you know, it's still hard. I'm with my family, it's different family, it's different adventure in Washington on my birthday, but it's still hard not to be able to see or talk to my parents at all. But 11, like me turning 11, was the big, it was like the big step, and it's where it's like, I'm a person that kind of bundles all their feelings. I'm not really, if something bothers me, I'm not really going to tell you because, you know, I don't like to cause drama, or if it's not something like super important or super bothersome, like I'm not going to bring it up. I just let it slide. But for this, like, who could I talk to? Like, I could go talk to my parents about it, but I don't want to say they wouldn't understand, but I don't think they would have done anything about it. It's not saying that they wouldn't care, it's just I don't think there's nothing they could have done. But when I turned 11, and I remember this one very clear because I turned 11, and this was the first year Burning Man got cell service and cell reception, but I was in Washington where the cell reception is not the best. And I remember on my birthday, my uncle, here, I'm going to draw a little hand picture for you guys. So my uncle and my aunt's house, they have a hallway that like goes like this, right? And then if you're looking down the hallway, like at the wall down the hallway, to the right at the start of the hallway is the kitchen, and that's where their house phone is. So I remember on my birthday, their house phone rang, and I think my uncle and my aunt picked it up, and they're like, "Oh, Alec, it's for you." And I was like why is it for me? And I answered, I like got the phone, and it was my mom and my dad, and I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure both sets of my grandparents were there too, and they were like all screaming happy birthday. But I clearly remember talking to my mom and my dad when this happens. And this is like the first time since I was 5 that I was able to hear my parents' voice on my birthday. And it meant a lot to me. And I was talking to them, and I remember just how like anxious I was because I was being able to talk to them. So I was just walking back and forth on the hallway on the phone. And I remember because of how bad the cell service was on both ends, the call failed like halfway through our conversation. And I remember just every emotion that I stuffed down for my birthdays just came out, and I just had a breakdown. I ran to the end of the hallway and like sat in the corner, and I was just sobbing my eyes out and crying for hours. It was really, like, thinking about it, I don't get sad, but I can almost feel the emotion that I felt that day. So it was just really hard to like experience that. And I think that year my uncle told them that like what happened and how I was so sad, and I think it really hit home with them because the next year the next year I was going into 6th grade, and 6th grade middle school starts in August, so we couldn't go up to visit my uncle and my aunt over my birthday. So, and both of my grandparents were still going to Burning Man. So my mom had her friend Kelly come watch us, and I remember, I want to say it was that year. This is where between like 12 and on, it's kind of like all jumbled around. But so some years might be flipped, but I want to say after, when I turned 12, they knew how much it meant to me that they weren't there. And I'm pretty sure they went to Burning Man, and then they flew back the day before my birthday, were there with me on my birthday, and then left the same day. And it was like, it was really nice. I mean, it was still like, at that point, it's not like you could erase all the, 6 years of not hearing them, not being with them. And that'll still like, I don't want to say like haunt me or live with me, but it's still just something like not to look forward to, because even though they came back on my birthday, it didn't get better. When I turned 13, I don't think they came back, honestly. They might have, but I want to say they didn't. And then when I turned 14, they didn't go to Burning Man, but my parents and a lot of their friends went on vacation to the Caribbean, so they still weren't here for my birthday. At this point, like, Burning Man was getting better cell service, so I could at least talk to them, but it's still just not seeing your parents. And like, I don't want to say the important ones, because like my sister was here, and I love my sister, and like it was so good to have her here. And then I had all my friends, and I didn't know Kianna at this time, but it still like sucked not being able to be with my parents. I think it was the year I turned 14. My dad's stepmom came to watch my sister and I, because my dad's dad is a professor at an art school, so he couldn't like come stay with us because it's not far, but like they live 40 minutes away from us, and the school is like 30 more minutes the opposite way, so it would be too much driving for him. So my grandmother came to watch us, and that was fun. I mean, she's like very laid back, doesn't really care what we do. So it was cool to like have freedom in some sense. I mean, not really, like at that time there was like no bedtime or whatever, you know, whatever it was. At 15, I think they came back. I really don't remember, to be honest. It's all a blur. No, wait, no. 15, I don't think they came back. I want to say it was 16. They came back when I was... Did they? No. I don't remember. 15 or 16 they came back. 17, they didn't. And 17 was just a rough year all around. My grandma, my dad's mom, passed that year. She, like, her and I were really close. So that was a hard year. She had cancer in a very, like, aggressive form of cancer. So the months leading up to her passing was just all bad. I actually have a tattoo for her on my shoulder. But that year, I don't think my parents weren't here, but I remember that year was nice because I was able to like visit my grandma and grandpa that year, my dad's mom and my dad's stepdad, because they were here because they couldn't go because she was sick. And then when I turned 18, here because it was like a big deal to them, they were here. And then when I turned 19 last year, they did not go. We went to Mexico for like a graduation for my high school. So we did not, like, the money they would have spent on Burning Man, we went to Mexico. And then this year I turned 20. You guys saw the vlog. They went. But the past 3 birthdays have been really good because of, you guys know her. She's my other half, the other half of his channel. Wish she was sitting right here. But Kianna, God, I love her so much. You guys have no idea like how much she means to me, and she's someone who gets really happy on her birthdays, and I think for her to see how sad I would get on my birthdays made her just want to, like, I don't know, want to devote all of her effort, and even if it cost her a lot of money or time or whatever, she would just do everything she could to make my day better. And like, I'm tearing up right now, but I don't think she knows how much that truly means to me. So babe, when you're watching this, thank you. I love you. Don't get me wrong, like, I love my parents and I love my family. It's just, it's hard, and I know it can be a lot worse. Like, don't get me wrong, some people have it a lot worse, and I don't want to take away from them or make it seem like I have it super, super bad. But for me, growing up as a kid, when it's, in my opinion, when you're growing up is more important than when you're already grown. Like, at this age, you know, I have a girlfriend who I plan on getting engaged with and marrying with, and I have like friends that I consider brothers and stuff like that. And so at this age, it doesn't really affect me if they weren't here. But it was when I was younger, when I didn't have as many friends, when obviously I didn't have a girlfriend, and like when I couldn't, you know, do my own thing at that time because I was so young. I really needed them there, and they weren't. And so yeah, just growing up, it was a lot harder. So, but recently it's been better because of Kianna and my friends. I remember, I want to say, when I turned 18, no, wait. Yeah, when I turned 18, Kianna like had planned, no, maybe it was 19. I forget, 18 or 19. Kianna had created like a group chat with all my friends, and she had planned to take me out to dinner, and I think something happened, so they all came here, and it was really cool because they all came like individually, and I was like, they would come over and be like, oh, happy birthday or whatever, and I'm like, oh, you know, like, thanks for coming. And then 5 minutes later, my next friend would come, and so that was really sweet. So it really, I don't know, it's just, guys, find a girl like Kianna. She's honestly the best, and this video is not supposed to be about her. But it's hard to talk about her when I'm talking about my birthdays because she is like the light in recent years. She has been the light in my birthday, and I don't know if my dad's gonna watch this, but I know that my mom will watch this, and that my grandparents will watch this. So when you guys do, I love you, Mom, Grandma, Grandpa. Maybe Lexi will watch this, I don't know. So I love you guys. I don't have anything against you. I know that it's not, you guys couldn't have like controlled it or stopped it, but at the same time, people were asking why I didn't like my birthdays. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it here, and I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.